the Mirror Maze of Madness. The digital circus had a new attraction, a twisting, shimmering mirror maze. As usual, Cain couldn't wait to show it off. "Step right up! Come face your reflection in the maze of madness," he called, gleeful as ever. Pomy frowned, suspicious. "What's the catch?" Cain grinned, his eyes flashing with mischief. "Oh, nothing much. Just try not to lose yourself, or you might really get lost." Ratha, always the brave one, stepped forward. "I'm in. It's just a maze, right?" she said, winking at Pomy. Hesitantly, the others followed. Pomy, Zubul, and Kinger, all wary of what the maze might hold. Inside, the maze was a twisting, glittering labyrinth of mirrors that reflected endless versions of themselves. At first, it was almost fun, until the mirrors started warping. Kinger's reflection looked like it had 10 eyes. Pomy's image stretched into infinity. And Zubul just looked annoyed, as usual. Suddenly, Ratha's reflection reached out of the mirror and grabbed her arm. "What is happening?" she yelped. Cain's voice echoed around them. "Oh, did I forget to mention? Some mirrors. Might want to keep you." Panic set in as they raced through the maze, dodging their doppelgangers, until finally, Pomy found the exit. "Out! Out! Out!" she shouted, pulling the others with her. Breathless, they collapsed outside the maze. "Never again," Pomy muttered, glaring at Cain, who just giggled. "See? It's all fun and games, until it isn't." Jax's impossible heist. Cain had cooked up another one of his ridiculous games, and this time it was all about thievery. "Welcome, one and all, to Cain's impossible heist," he announced grandly, floating above the circus. "Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to break into the vault and steal the gem at its center. But beware, there are traps everywhere." Jax grinned ear to ear. "A heist? Oh, I'm in. Nothing can stop me." Pomy, however, was wary. "There's always a catch, isn't there, Cain?" Cain gave a coy smile. "Perhaps, but where's your sense of adventure?" The vault sat in the middle of a towering funhouse, a maze of mirrors, traps, and tricks. The prize? A glowing gem said to be the source of unimaginable power. Jax was already planning his moves. As the group entered the funhouse, Jax took the lead, confident in his ability to outsmart whatever was thrown at him. The walls shifted around them, mirrors reflecting distorted versions of themselves, as if mocking their every move. "Watch and learn," Jax said with a wink, sprinting ahead. The first trap triggered instantly, a series of sliding doors that sealed off various parts of the funhouse. Jax leapt through the last one, narrowly escaping. He turned to see Pomy and Ratha behind a wall. "Jax!" Pomy called out, banging on the barrier. "Don't leave us behind!" He smirked. "Relax. I'll find a way to let you in." Meanwhile, Kinger, who had somehow gotten separated from the group, was wandering aimlessly through the mirrors. "Hello? Is anyone out there?" His voice echoed around him, but every reflection looked like someone else, warped versions of himself laughing in the distance. "I really don't like this," he muttered. Back in the vault room, Jax faced the final challenge, an elaborate laser grid protecting the gem. He cracked his knuckles. "This is too easy." With a dramatic leap, Jax somersaulted through the lasers, barely missing them. But when he grabbed the gem, the room exploded in lights and alarms. Cain appeared out of nowhere, laughing hysterically. "Gotcha!" Jax stood frozen as the walls began to close in on him. "Wait, what? This isn't supposed to happen!" Pomy and Ratha burst through just in time, having found a way around the barriers. "What did you do, Jax?" Pomy shouted, seeing the chaos unfolding. "Maybe I underestimated the traps," Jax admitted, trying to back away from the collapsing walls. Ratha spotted a glowing switch on the wall, and without hesitation, flipped it. The lasers powered down, and the walls retreated. Jax gave a sheepish grin. See? All part of the plan. Pomy crossed her arms. Sure it was. Pomny's infinite loop. One morning in the digital circus, Pomy woke up with a sense of unease. She wasn't sure why. Her surroundings seemed normal. Well, as normal as a digital circus could be. She found her friends in the central tent, where Kane floated above them, looking suspiciously gleeful. Good morning, everyone. Kane chimed with a wide grin. Today, I've prepared a brand new experience for you all. A delightful little riddle to test your patience. Pomy narrowed her eyes. What kind of riddle? An adventure, Kane declared. But there's a twist. You'll be facing the same thing over and over until you solve the riddle. Exciting, isn't it? Before anyone could argue, the tent collapsed around them, and suddenly Pomy found herself in a strange, surreal landscape. The never-ending spiral of red and white stripes. The air around her shimmered as if reality itself were bending. What's happening? Ratha asked, looking around in confusion. Pomy glanced at her. We need to solve the riddle before this gets worse. As the group walked forward, the path beneath their feet twisted and looped back on itself in confusing ways. Soon enough, they ended up right where they started. Jax, never one to lose his cool, leaned against a nearby column. It's just a maze. We'll be out in no time. But no matter which direction they tried, they always ended up back in the same place. A spinning circus platform with glowing lights and loud carnival music that repeated endlessly. This is maddening, Zubul muttered, kicking a nearby wall, which caused it to flicker as if it were a glitch. It's like we're stuck in a loop. Pomny's frustration mounted with every step. There's got to be a clue. What was that riddle Kane mentioned? Gangle, nervously clutching her mask, chimed in. I think the answer might be right in front of us. Suddenly, Kinger, who had been unusually quiet, pointed to the sky. The pattern of the sky, it's repeating in time with the music. Everyone stared upward. The stars overhead flashed in sync with the carnival tune that had been playing on loop. Pomny's eyes widened. That's it. The music and the stars, they're the key. We've been walking in the wrong rhythm. The group fell silent, focusing on the beat of the music and the flashing of the stars. With each step, they followed the rhythm, and soon enough, the path changed beneath them. The loop was broken. As they emerged from the spiral, Kane appeared, clapping wildly. Bravo, bravo! You figured it out! I knew you were smart enough to break the infinite loop. Jax shrugged. Wasn't that hard? Pomy sighed in relief. Next time, just tell us the rules up front, Kane. But Kane only chuckled mischievously. Where's the fun in that? Ratha's rewind roller coaster. It was another thrilling day at the amazing digital circus, and Ratha was determined to make it the best day ever. She'd been working on a new act, a synchronized roller coaster routine that would combine speed, loops, and perfectly timed jumps, all set to a catchy 8-bit soundtrack. Ratha's enthusiasm was infectious, and soon everyone, even the ever-cautious Pomy, was on board to try the ride. Kane, ever the showman, promised that this would be the most exciting ride in circus history. And if anything goes wrong, Kane added with a mischievous grin, we can always hit the rewind button. As the ride started, the coaster cars zoomed through digital tunnels, flipping and spinning in perfect harmony. Ratha was at the front, beaming with pride as her plan seemed to work flawlessly. But then, just as they hit the first major loop, a massive glitch appeared on the track, a gaping hole of missing code right in their path. The coaster cars shot through the glitch, sending the group spinning out of control through corrupted data and broken animations. The track began to warp and bend in impossible ways, creating a nightmarish loop of endless drops and spirals. Zubul lost half her parts along the way. Gangle's comedy mask flipped to tragedy mid-loop, and Kinger was upside down, screaming something about giant bees. Kane, floating above the chaos, laughed with delight. "Oh, this is much better than what we planned. But how about we add a twist?" With a snap, Kane hit the rewind button. The roller coaster reversed, zooming backward at twice the speed. The performers were flung into reverse loops, experiencing the entire ride in chaotic rewind. Just when they thought it was over, Kane hit fast forward, speeding up the entire experience until it was nothing but a blur of screaming and spinning. Ratha, trying to keep her cool, called out, "Kane, stop the ride!" But Kane, ever the playful ringleader, just laughed. "What fun is stopping? Let's do it again!" Finally, Pomy, who had been desperately calculating the chaos, managed to hit the emergency stop. The ride screeched to a halt, leaving everyone dizzy, disassembled, or in Gangle's case, both laughing and crying at the same time. Ratha staggered off the ride, still trying to put on a brave face. "Well, maybe not exactly how I planned, but that was something." Kane clapped, still hovering. A splendid display of adaptability, Ratha. And remember, in the amazing digital circus, the show is never truly over. It's just on loop. As everyone staggered back to their routines, Ratha made a mental note. Next time, maybe just stick to something simpler, like juggling. And so, the circus continued, with every glitch and rewind adding to the never-ending adventure that was the amazing digital circus. Kane's Color Chaos. One ordinary day in the circus. Well, as ordinary as things can be, Kane decided to spice up their lives with a new game. With a snap of his fingers, he changed the rules of reality in the digital circus, turning the entire environment into a kaleidoscope of shifting colors and patterns. The sky turned to neon polka dots, the ground to vibrant plaid, and even the characters themselves glowed in ridiculous colors. Pomy looked down, horrified to find her normally monochrome outfit turned into a blinding rainbow. "Kane, what did you do to us?" she shouted, trying to shield her eyes from her own reflection. "This, my dear Pomy, is my latest game, Color Chaos." Kane floated through the air, his toothy grin wide as he admired his work. "You'll all need to find the single object that remains its original color. If you don't, you'll be stuck like this forever." Jax, the smug bunny, rolled his eyes, crossing his arms. "So we just gotta find a thing that's not flashing like a strobe light? Easy." But as the group began their search, it became clear this wasn't going to be a simple task. Everything was blinding, pulsing, and changing constantly. They split up, each heading in different directions of the circus to search for the object that could return things to normal. Pomy teamed up with Zubul, who looked at their patchwork self in complete disgust. "I look like someone spilled paint on a glitch," Zubul complained. "I think you look kinda cool," Gangle tried to say in her usual awkward optimism. But Zubul wasn't buying it. As they searched, Jax wandered lazily through the landscape. He stumbled across what looked like a small, unassuming rock, completely gray. With a shrug, he kicked it, only to watch in shock as it suddenly split open, revealing a massive Technicolor worm that shot rainbow sparks in every direction. "Of course it's never easy," he muttered, dodging the sparks. Meanwhile, Pomy, Zubul, and Gangle found themselves trapped in a bizarre maze of mirrors. Each mirror warped their appearances, making Pomy's head 5 times larger, and Zubul stretch out like a slinky. "Kane, you maniac!" Pomy yelled into the void. Finally, after hours of bizarre encounters, Zubul had turned into a glittering disco ball at one point. The group reunited. Gangle, surprisingly, had found the solution. She had a small white handkerchief that hadn't changed at all. She timidly waved it. I think this is it." Kane reappeared in a flash. Well done, he exclaimed, returning the world to normal. You've beaten the game, but don't worry, I have more tricks up my sleeve. Jax groaned. Great, can't wait.